You know, sometimes I get the feeling Ubisoft does not really know what to do with their Prince of Persia IP they have earned such a long time ago. Not long ago, they already released a 2.5D platformer of Prince of Persia after a long time of nothing, and now here's another game. This time a roguelike game set in the Prince of Persia universe. But first of all, thank you to Ubisoft to provide me a review key for the Rogue of Prince of Persia. I've managed to have a look at the game, and even though I'm not allowed to show the entire gameplay to the end, I can tell you my thoughts. As we know, with literally every Prince of Persia game, the story is somewhat similar. Not the same, but somewhat similar. The Huns are at Persia's borders, murdering Persians and bringing destruction over the land. We are following the prince who is determined to bring the fight to the Huns and prove his worth as a future king. However, his own army capitulates and the Huns set out to seize the capital. Sounds so far like a very familiar Prince of Persia setting. As the title suggests, the Rogue Prince of Persia is a roguelike game similar to well-known titles like Hades. You're starting at point A and have to get to point B while fighting yourself through the dungeon, just to simplify the game mechanics a little bit. On your way you can find new paths to get to the next section of your journey, and you can even teleport from one place to another if you have the feeling you need to go back to some certain point. While you start with a certain loadout, you can find weapon upgrades or upgrade medallions during your fights. You can, for example, use a chakram, grappling hook, a bow, and many more tools or weapons. As for the medallions, they could increase your health, deal poison, or spread some kind of resin on the floor. With collected gold, you can purchase new items from merchants, and eventually you visit the oasis, which serves as a safe space for you, and a friend is giving you advice. Once you're defeated, you get revived by some magic again and start from the beginning, upgrading yourself first and attempt the run once again. Obviously, the run won't be the same one as the maps are procedural generated and changed slightly in its settings. I don't think I have to say much about the mechanics of a roguelike game. There have been plenty on the market already, maybe already too many, and the mechanics do not differ very much. More important would be to find the unique selling point of this game. What makes this game so special? Why the heck should you pay 20 euros or dollars for this Ubisoft game? So here's my perspective. I usually don't like roguelike games very much. Personally, I think the most frustrating and annoying game I played was Hades. And yes, you may dislike this video now, but it is how it is. But Shen, why in the hell are you playing this game if you don't like roguelike games? Well, it is still Prince of Persia, and I was a super fan of this game since the old MS-DOS version got released. And to be honest, there are similarities. Funny enough, I think the Rogue Prince of Persia is okay. The controls are way less frustrating than in other roguelike games. Maybe even because it forces you to use a controller and the game is basically a side-scroller. Sure, other roguelike games also offer you controller support, but it never really felt very smooth. Sometimes changing the view on a game helps a lot with the playability for some people. If enemies attack you from all sides, I quickly feel overwhelmed. The great thing is, I don't get this feeling on the Rogue Prince of Persia, at least not that often. The game is a challenge though, which is good, and while I have not played it to the very end, I can tell you it does have its moments. I think what makes the game so different to other Ubisoft titles is Ubisoft is not developing the game. The Rogue Prince of Persia is being developed by Evil Empire, also responsible for Dead Cells, Return to Castlevania. Ubisoft is only the IP holder and publisher in this case. 10 to 15 hours of gameplay should this game offer, and during the early access phase, additional mobs, gear and levels should be added bit by bit. So what is the conclusion? I think if you like roguelike games and platformers, you might very much enjoy this game. I'm happy that Ubisoft is trying to take a new approach on the Prince of Persia IP and not just create another Assassin's Creed clone. Also, I do think it was a good idea to ask an external studio to work on this project, just to bring in some new fresh ideas and perspectives. As said, not just creating a new Assassin's Creed-like game, what Ubisoft often tends to do. In my opinion, they also did a very good job on the design. The background and the graphics element and even the monster design is great. I can't even complain about it. The soundtrack is listenable for a longer time, and I have not yet needed to turn off the music. Surprisingly, there is not much to say on this game. It is a roguelike platformer. The preview version was a little rough here and there and needs some polishing. It's a game I cannot even rage about. Feels weird somehow. So when will this be available? 27th of May 2024 on Steam, and by the way, surprisingly I didn't even see a third-party launcher on the game or mandatory account linking. Well, that is all I have to say about this game for now. Maybe you want to say more? Drop a comment if you like. But anyway, thanks for watching, take care, and have a good one.